Hi, group number threes. Welcome to this week's reading. This week, we are doing a spread about effective communication. So, this is the card that pulled you guys in. It is the card Good Luck from the game Dialect. And it says, how we affirm our hope in happy outcomes. A spoken wish for victory that bonds us together. A particular kind of luck or fortune for the isolation, when good luck is needed most. So, I feel like this card is talking about hope. This card is talking about your need for some hope in this situation. Whatever the situation is, however we are having trouble communicating with somebody, you are in need of some good luck. You are in need of some hope for the future. We are in need of a glimmering light. We are in need of some victory. We are even in need of a victory with this other person that will help bind us together. So we need an effective conversation. So that makes sense to why you guys are here. So we need a win. We need a win of a conversation. So, yeah, so this is a 6-card spread. I'm going to read to you the questions and then we're going to pull it. All right. And I will say the questions again as we go through them. But what emotion am I feeling right now about this situation? How might I better connect to where this emotion is physically presenting in my body? How might I effectively communicate this emotion to the other person involved? How can I best honor and hold space for how the other person is feeling right now? What action can I take to honor the other person's boundaries while respecting my own? And last but not least, what lesson have I learned from this situation that I can take with me moving forward? So let's get started. Guides of group number 3. Guides of group number 3. Would you please give me some cards? Oh my goodness. About effective communication that my group number 3s need to know about this particular conversation we're talking about right now. So, wonderful. They just flew them all out there. So, let's get into it, shall we? All right. Card number 1. This question is, what emotion am I feeling right now about this situation? And the card you guys have is the 10 of Wands. Okay. We're feeling a lot of emotions, a lot of emotion. The 10 of Wands is about carrying too much, about feeling totally overwhelmed. Yeah, you're in a state of overwhelm, of burnout, of I am just done with this situation. I don't know how much longer I can go on with this situation. Yeah, we are tired. We are exhausted. We are just beyond done with this situation. Mentally, physically, emotionally, just run down and exhausted and feeling like there's just no hope, which makes sense as to why your card was about good luck and victory and hope. God, hope. We need some hope back infused into this situation. Yeah, we are just overwhelmed and exhausted with this situation and this conversation. So here's the next card we have. How might I better connect to where this emotion is physically presenting in my body? And we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah. The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Love. He is the chivalrous knight. He's Sir Lancelot. So how can I better this emotion is in your heart. It is in your soul. It is deep in there. How might I better connect to where this emotion is physically presenting in my body? We need to show ourselves a bunch of love right now. We really need to connect with love in general, with love in general. Maybe that's connecting to a person that you love about this situation. Maybe it's reminding yourself where the love is in your life. Maybe it is showing yourself some love. Maybe it is doing some self-care routines. Maybe it is doing things that the world doesn't really recognize as self-care, but definitely are, like exercise, or eating good food, or eating terrible food, or sleeping, getting enough sleep, making sure we have enough alarms to get to work on time, those kinds of things, like taking care of ourselves in all the ways, helping out future us with things, like doing things now so that future you can have a better morning, those kinds of things. Doing the laundry now so that future you doesn't have to do the laundry, you know what I mean? Taking less things off future you's plate so that this feeling of overwhelm becomes less as we go. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So, card number 3, how might I effectively communicate this emotion to the other person involved? And the card we have is the 2 of Wands. Ooh. Now, the 2 of Wands is an interesting card. I always have a bit of trouble personally with the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands because they're very similar, at least in my vein of understanding. So in this spot of the 2 of Wands, this 2 of Wands in particular seems to be talking about trusting our gut. Because we have this like crystal orb here that's showing light and really showing something of the future. Crystal orbs are meant to show to us what our third eye sees already. It's expressing to us what our deep insides already know. So how might I effectively communicate this emotion to the other person involved? You know what? I need a clarifier card here because I'm really struggling with this 2 of Wands. Guides, thank you. So the other card you got is the Knight of Swords. There you go. The Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is the Knight of thoughts, of swift thought, swift thinking and action. So to effectively communicate to this person what you are feeling right now, what you are experiencing, we really need to not police ourselves. We need to speak openly, honestly, and effectively from our gut, from our deep inner feelings. And I'm really seeing that this makes a difference. Like when we express the first thing that comes to our head, the thing that we intuitively know, it better says what we mean than we can if we overthink it. Does that make sense? Like, if you come to a crossroad and you're not sure which way to go, you trust your gut. You're like, okay, I think but that direction is kind of where I want to go. So I'm going to go that way and just trust my gut. This is talking about trusting your gut when communicating with this person. This is talking about our first instinct, the thing our body already knows, the thing that's on the tip of our tongue. Don't hide that. Don't stow that away. Don't second guess it. You're right. So how might I effectively communicate this emotion to the other person involved? We're not going to censor ourselves. We need to not censor ourselves. We need to just speak from the gut, speak from the heart, speak from that deep soul place where this overwhelm is coming from. And don't censor it. Don't pull any punches with this conversation, because we're already past the point of breaking. So hiding this is not helping you or the other person at all. Okay? So, I'm sorry the sun is coming in right now. I don't really want to cover it up though, because it feels right, considering you guys, your whole reading is about hope and hope in the future and a need for a victory. The sun coming in right now just makes sense to me. So we're going to just deal with it. So, all right, the next card here is card number 4. How can I best honor and hold space for how the other person is feeling? And we have the Star card. Ooh, I love this. We actually got this card in this exact same spot in group number 2. So if you felt drawn to group number 2 as well, excuse me, maybe check it out. So the Star card talks about being the star of a situation. It talks about being seen, being understood, being shown off to the world. So how do we respect somebody else's feelings in the situation? We allow them to be heard. We allow them to be seen, to be understood. We give them the time and space that they need to be heard in this conversation. That might be difficult to find the line between, okay, when is it too much? When am I giving in to this person too much? And when is it appropriate for me to give this person space? That might be difficult for you to perceive since we're already overwhelmed. We already feel like there's too much on our plate, so we can't make space for the other person's needs right now. But I think you can do it. You are this. There's been a lot of knights in your reading. For only 6 cards to have 2 knights is pretty significant. So you're somebody who soldiers on. You've been this soldier on for a while. So it is time for you to speak your mind. But the other person has to be seen and understood and heard. Because if they're not feeling seen, understood, and heard, they're going to turn off to whatever you're saying. Because now they feel attacked. Now they feel like that, I'm the one that's in the wrong all the time now. So, like, once this person gets defensive, the effective communication is gone. So there needs to be a effort to make a safe place for this person, to make a acknowledgement of what this person's going through as well, and to also create space within this conversation about your overwhelm for them to express how your overwhelm has made them feel as well. There does need to be space in a conversation for both sides to be heard and understood and seen. Because then if there isn't, then it's not a conversation, it's just a rant. You know what I mean? So I think that's all I want to say about that card. So the next card we have for you guys, this is card number 5. What action can I take to honor the other person's boundaries while respecting my own? And the card we have for you guys is the Fool. Ooh. The Fool. Now this is an interesting card to get in the spot about boundaries, because normally I'd say that the Fool is kind of the antithesis of boundaries. They're kind of the ipso facto. They're the opposite. Ooh, sorry. I hope that didn't make a big sound, but the Fool is kind of the opposite of boundaries. Our Fool really sorry, here. That's better. Our Fool really doesn't respect boundaries. And that's kind of why he's about to walk off a cliff. But what action can I take to honor the other person's boundaries while respecting my own? You know what? This might be talking about the literal definition of the Fool. As a fool, as a comedian, as a humorian, as a comedian. If we don't take things too seriously in this conversation, if we lighten things up, if we make things jovial, I believe that will give us the space to both discuss how overwhelmed and burnt out we feel, while also leaving space for the other person to express themselves, because we've created an atmosphere of joviality, of let's work this out together, of let's have fun, of let's make each other laugh, even at the hard things, that it's now safe for everybody to talk about their hardships. It's an opening up of the boundaries, of respecting that if we need to take a break to rekindle our jovial attitude, to rekindle our joy at being able to just talk to this person, we should do that for ourselves. It's also this feeling of the Fool has a companion almost always. They have a dog or something with them always. And it's this feeling of, we're in this together. Yeah, we might be running off a cliff and it feels really scary and everything is awful. But man, at least I got you. At least we're in this together. At least we're not alone in this moment. We're both trying. We're both walking down this path together. And that's something to celebrate. That's something worth celebrating. Yeah, that's something worth having hope in. This person is still here. You're not alone. This person is still here. Despite whatever cliff you guys are jumping off to together, despite all this overwhelming energy that you are both experiencing, this person is still here. And that's something. So, yeah, approaching this with a more jovial attitude, with a less serious one, finding the balance in that, I think that's the path to being able to respect everybody's boundaries. Not making light of this situation, but finding the lightness in it, if that makes sense. All right, so the last card that I have for you guys, this card talks about what lesson have I learned from, what What lesson have I learned from this situation that I can take with me moving forward? And the card you guys have is the Eight of Pentacles. I love this card. This Eight of Pentacles in particular I love because it is a spider connecting all the threads of this card together. And the spider is spooky and it's spooky season, yay! But yeah, the spider is a master weaver, and this card talks about mastery. So what will you learn through this whole situation? We're learning to pull the threads of everything we've learned together to create a safe and jovial environment for us and the person we are speaking with to have a conversation. We have learned that everything affects everything else, and that's why sometimes it's so hard to have these conversations, because it's not just this conversation that's affecting our mood. It's our work, it's our finances, it's how our dog is feeling. There's so many layers to every person and every conversation that through this situation, we are becoming a master of how to identify and recognize those threads. And instead of trying to squash it or something, we're trying to see it as the grand picture of this person, of ourselves, and love and understand each other through that. The lesson we're going to learn through this situation is that everything affects everything else. And we're also going to learn what works best for us. What works best for us in these situations when we are totally overwhelmed and exhausted? What works best? What do we need to maintain our mastery of our lives? I hope all that made sense to you guys. So last but not least, I am going to shuffle my affirmators deck for you guys, and I am going to get one final message from your guides about this conversation and hope in the future and all that stuff that we talked about. So, guides of group number 3s, would you please give me one final message for group number 3 as they talk to these people in their lives about their state? Okay, so the 2 cards we have for you guys are this one, which is Impermanence, which I will read to you, don't worry. And this card, oh, we got 2 cards. Never mind, we got 3 cards. Okay, so, and then we also have this card, Everyone's Teacher. Oh, Everyone's a Teacher. Okay. And Story of My Life. Okay, so let me read all this. Okay, so Impermanence. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. Next is Everyone's a Teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons, I sometimes call assholes. They've chosen a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So today, I'm thanking all the assholes. Thank you, assholes, for playing your part in making me a better person. And last but not least, Story of my life. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn that Pulitzer Prize for the best inner monologue. Well, that's all I'm seeing for you guys, group number 3s. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out so much. I hope you guys have a blessed everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.